morning, Christina.
Good morning.
Hey, Christina. I like how you saw me. Yeah, you saw me on the elevator literally like 2 minutes after I rolled out of bed.
I saw you and you must have been ready.
I truly was. I was like, do I have all my clothes on? Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I will never say no to that. We have like an actual photographer. We're like, this is like a kind of unique part of the picture. You're right.
You want an impromptu headshot, just to go see it.
Yeah, I just made Belle like take my phone and take a picture of all of us. She's like, you have a photographer. I'm like, look, see?
How's Garrett doing, Christina?
Although he's in the proposal burnout session, so well, that tracks.
Like, cool.
All he does is proposes, so I get it. We've all been to the proposal burnout session before.
I mean, yeah. I love it. I love it when you're like, oh, okay. Like, that's where we're at. So funny. At 8:30.
Had a long coffee. That's all I had.
I had some really good coffee this morning. It was better than what I think it was. Thank you.
I love that you guys have that knowledge. So, Dan is still a baseball.
Alright, it's very painful.
I don't think we have a moderator, so we're just going to start. Yeah.
Alright, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I don't think we have a moderator in here. Is our moderator here? If not, we're just going to moderate ourselves. Feel good about this? Great. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us this morning. I guess the moderator would say good morning. Great job coming to the session. We're happy to have you here. I'm going to pass it over to me and Mel. So here we go. So now it's me. Okay, hey guys. Thank you guys for joining us this morning for Paint the Town Red, identifying and leveraging your business development persona. So first of all, let's give a round of applause to you guys for waking up and making it here this morning. Great job. Great job. Mel and I were a little nervous when we got the Friday morning hangover slot. We're like, ooh, 8:30 in the morning. So I'm really happy that you guys are here, and we're really excited about this presentation. We present a ton, and this is the first time we have done this one live. So you guys are hopefully in for a treat. Hopefully you love it and it's great, but we always love feedback in the guidebook when we finish. I think that's also what the moderator is supposed to say. Okay, cool, here we go. So, first and most importantly, over to my right, we have Jeff Chapman, who's going to be painting 5 canvases live during our presentation today. Pretty pumped about this. So, for over 30 years, Jeff has created custom paintings, TV storyboards, logos, and a myriad of pieces for restaurants, hotels, universities, and churches. Each project Jeff undertakes is custom and site-specific. He loves the creative, collaborative process of brainstorming, planning, fine-tuning, and executing an original masterpiece. And I can attest personally to how awesome Jeff is because he's also my dad. So, let's give a round of applause for Jeff. So, go ahead, Jeff, get started. We're going to unpack a little bit later how these canvases tie to what we are talking about today. All right, so I'm also going to introduce the lovely Melanie Meeks to my right, my business partner. So Mel has 20 years of experience in the AEC industry, specializing in the development of marketing strategy, client development, and project pursuits. She is a CPSM, served as president of SMPS Houston, and worked as the director of client development at Kirksey Architecture prior to launching Meeks Marketing in 2013. A wife and mom of 3, she can often be found running hardwood to baseball and play practices or relaxing with a good book. And Mel is just simply awesome. If you have not met her, you should meet her and get to know her. I'm so thankful to get to do work life with her. So
Thank you, Allie. All right, so the lovely Allie Horn, my business partner, has more than 16 years of experience in the AEC marketing world and manages Meeks Marketing's Austin office. She's written over 75 published articles for BizNow Commercial Real Estate News in markets nationally and served as the technical editor for a Fortune 300 company. She's a proud University of Texas graduate.
any Longhorns out here? Yes, 1, 2. No, 1. There's 2 Longhorns.
And she resides right here in Austin, Texas, and can be found hiking, playing the guitar, and convincing her children that she has superpowers.
Accurate.
Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're really excited.
All right, so let's hop in. So Mel and I, this presentation originated when we started talking about the concept that there is a commonly held belief that you have to be an extrovert to be good at business development, or you have to be outgoing to be good at business development, right? And that's just not the case. And so this presentation was kind of born from this. You don't have to be an extrovert to be effective at BD. And so we started talking about kind of different personas, different personality types that are effective at business development, maybe in ways that you wouldn't imagine. So our hope is you leave this presentation and you feel empowered, whether you're an extrovert, whether you're an introvert, no matter how you naturally approach business development, we hope that this presentation will help you guys identify your strengths, kind of learn how to maximize your weaknesses, and ultimately feel empowered to be successful in any BD environment. All right, so the abstract. So what are we talking about today? I kind of just want to stand here and watch Dad paint because it's already really awesome, but I'm going to stay focused. So BD trends. We'll talk about 5 business development personas that I kind of just alluded to. We'll talk about how to maximize your persona, how to nail an elevator pitch. Does everyone know what an elevator pitch is? Yeah, you guys are all awesome marketers. Perfect. And then business development etiquette. So the meat and potatoes of the presentation, which is a very Southern phrase, but I guess we're mostly all Southerners here. So the meat and potatoes is really focusing on these 5 business development personas and helping you guys find out who you most identify with. All right, so just a few quick general trends, right? So in-person versus electronic networking. Post-COVID, there was a ton of virtual events, right? Melanie and I are now seeing that shift back to being mainly in-person events, but there are still some virtual events, mainly like CEU type stuff, like continuing education and things like that. So the home veil has been lifted. You know, we were at COVID, working from home for, it felt like 27 years, 2 years, I guess. And what we mean by this is there is now kind of, it is natural and it is easy to find out more about your clients, your potential clients' personal lives, just because of those COVID years where we were, had a little tiny camera peering into each other's homes with dogs, children, babies, chaos, right? So we can find ways to leverage that information that we maybe gathered, about our clients and potential clients, personal life. All right, power of LinkedIn. I'm sure, raise your hand if you're on LinkedIn. Hopefully everybody in this room. Yes, great. So LinkedIn is becoming even more important. Again, I feel like it's always been prevalent in our space and in the business development space, but we are seeing it being used in ways that we haven't before by not just social media managers, but principals, directors, leaders of firms. And so it's really important for us to make sure we are engaged on the LinkedIn space. I had my work goal last year was to be more active on LinkedIn. So if you follow me, I'm sorry if I'm annoying you with all of my posts, but I'm gonna post more, right? It's an easy way to stay in front of clients and potential clients. All right, connection is king. It is so important for us to find ways to connect with people, right? If you think about the friends in your life, the people you've surrounded yourself with, most likely you found something to connect on. Maybe that's a hobby, something you're passionate about. Like for me, it's always like kid stuff, right? And so trying to identify those connection points in a BD setting is really important. In increasing business development territories, this one's really interesting. We are seeing, we work with a lot of marketers and business developers, and we're seeing that there's an expectation for BD folks to cover much wider territories, right? Typically it was maybe city focused or regionally focused, but that is expanding. So again, we can use that to our advantage. Maybe you're trying to get into an emerging market, and you know someone here in Austin that also has an office in Denver, and things like that. So we just wanted to mention those kind of high-level trends before we hop in. All right, so I mentioned business development persona. What is it? First of all, thank you guys for coming without having really any idea what a business persona means. What does this mean? So let's unpack it. So a BD persona is the natural way you are inclined to connect with clients and potential clients. So I'll say that again. The natural way you are inclined to connect with clients and potential clients. So as we work our way through this presentation, just kind of keep this definition in mind because we're going to use this phrase a ton as we unpack these 5 personas that Mel and I have developed. Excuse me. Okay. Speaking of the 5 personas, here we go. So these are the 5 business development personas. We have the friend, the therapist, the connector, the resource, and the observer. So we are going to kind of give you a high-level general overview of what these are, and then we're going to put up a link for you guys to take a quiz that we've developed to figure out which personas you most identify with. After the quiz, we'll unpack those even further, talk about strengths, weaknesses, compatible persona types. You know, if I'm going to a business development event, who does it make sense for me to bring with me from my office? Things like that. All right, so first, the therapist. So the therapist is exactly how they sound, right? The therapist focuses on creating a safe space and serving as an engaged problem solver. And I think Jeff is working on the therapist painting right now. Is that right? Okay. So again, I'm not going to unpack these too much, but the therapist is a natural, listener, a natural problem solver. Second, we have the friend. So the friend identifies natural conversation connections. Remember I mentioned connection is king earlier. It's kind of what the friend naturally does. Prioritizing creating a warm and informal environment, right? So the friend is someone after a work event you want to go grab a beer with, or in my case, a glass of wine with.
Y'all come on up here if y'all need a seat.
Yeah,
no worries at all. No worries at all.
There's 2 seats up here, and
there's several seats
there's
up
some
here.
in the corner if you want to hide back there. That's totally fine.
Sorry.
No, you're great.
Okay.
I needed a sip of water, so this is the perfect excuse. You're all great. Thank you. All right, so the connector. The connector is a natural people person prioritizing bringing their network together. So when you envision a business developer, you are most likely envisioning the connector. And again, we will unpack all of these more after you guys take your quizzes. So, the resource. The resource is committed to being a knowledgeable contributor to any conversation. Facts, figures, and data are their sweet spot, right? So the resource is really helpful in a BD setting because they're super knowledgeable, and because they're knowledgeable, they are trustworthy. Last, but certainly not least, is the observer. So the observer is an active listener gathering valuable insight to leverage as needed, right? So the observer typically is a little bit quieter, which allows them to gather really awesome insights into clients and potential clients at networking events. There's a seat right up here. You can just come right on down. You got it.
These names are so good, I'm going to do this.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Oh, here's one right here.
Oh, nice. That one's easier to get to. Well done. Well done. Okay, so let me talk briefly about the quiz, and then we'll put a QR code up for you guys to take it. So the quiz, it's really quick. It'll take you about 3 minutes to take. So think of a personality quiz, but specifically for how you do business development. So it's 35 questions long. If you're a dorky like me, it's sum-based scoring on the back end. And again, it'll take about 3 minutes for you guys to take it. So 2 things I want to mention before you take it. 1, the more strongly you can answer questions, the more accurate your results will be. So your options when you answer are strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, right? So the more you can be on those ends, the strongly agree and the strongly disagree, the more accurate your results will be versus, like 27 neutrals. It's probably not going to be really helpful. And then also as you're going through the quiz, remember to approach it from a work standpoint, right? How do you show up at a networking event, at an office event, at a business development event, things like that. So I'm going to click through to the QR code. One more thing I want to mention, so you guys have like a to-do list of 2 things, right? So first thing, take the quiz. Second thing, when your quiz is done, do you guys see these like tiny little pretty paint cans over here? Okay. So after you take the quiz, take your business card and walk over and drop it in whichever persona you most identify with, okay? And then at the end of the presentation, we are going to draw, and 5 lucky people are going to get to take home these canvases. We have bags to take them and easels to prop them up on your desk. Yeah.
If you don't have a business card, that's completely fine. We have some notepads by the paint cans, so just walk, and there's some pens there too, so just walk over there. If you'll give us your name, your company, your email, so we can send out the presentation and everything, but you can still go into the drawing if you don't have a business card.
All right, and last thing, so this morning I had to turn off my Wi-Fi and just use like cell data to take the quiz, and it worked. So if you're having issues, raise your hand and I'll pretend to know how to fix it, okay? All right, everybody ready? Here we go. Oh yeah, the quiz is also on our website. It's meeksmarketing.com. There's a top little banner. So MEEKS marketing.com if you are on your computer. Yeah. Okay. Again, raise your hand if you have any issues. And no rush, take your time. Get some inspirational quiz music. Up here, yeah. Doesn't work. QR code up and like hoping that it works. So good news, it worked. You guys took the quiz, and now the fun part. Now we get to talk about your results and unpack them a little bit more. Also, paintings are looking awesome over here. Got some color on the resource starting to happen.
And I will say real quick, a few people were telling me that they had some very close in percentages, and that's great too. And we're going to talk about like which personas kind of complement each other, work well together, all those things. So some of that will probably make a little more sense to you too.
Yeah, and in general, you know, we are all aspects of all 5 of these personas, right? Just like taking any personality quiz. But hopefully you were able to kind of identify with 1 or 2. All right, so first we are going to talk about the therapist. Do you have any therapists? Can you raise your hand?
There's a lot.
Yeah, this is what I am. Awesome. Okay, can I have a therapist volunteer? Tani, did you say you were a therapist back then? Cool. Would you mind standing up and just reading the description for us? Not to pick on you, but I totally will. Yeah.
All right. So you are a safe space for friends and colleagues to share their struggles and successes with. You prioritize listening over speaking in a business development setting, but are prepared to offer insightful advice when you're called upon. A creative problem solver, you are often sought by connections to solve complex and delicate issues. You're warm and approach connections with inviting body language and positive energy.
Awesome. Thanks, Tani. Do you feel like you identify with that description? I feel like you do, knowing you. Yeah.
Surprised me, but reading the fuller thing, I'm like,
It makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So the therapist. So I'm the therapist. That is my number 1. So let's talk about me. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about the therapist, right? So some strengths, like Tani read, therapists are naturally safe spaces, problem solvers, and excellent listeners. And as we have like workshopped this quiz prior to the presentation, we have had the most therapists out of all the 5 types. So it's interesting. So I'm like, are we as marketers like naturally drawn to kind of show up in this way a little bit more? Is it because our industry is primarily women? You know, I don't know the answer, but it's been really interesting. So an example of how like the therapist shows up in a business development setting, I'll talk about me because again, I'm a therapist. So I had lunch scheduled with a work friend. This was a few weeks ago. We were going out to get fajitas, although that doesn't matter, but I haven't eaten breakfast, so I'm hungry. So we got fajitas. I'm thinking about food. And we went and we sat down and I said, hey, like, how are you doing? Like, I know you just started a new job. Like, has it been stressful? And she was like, oh, I am so stressed out. And I was like, what's going on? She's like, I don't understand, like, the division of what I'm supposed to be doing and what my boss is handling BD-wise. Like, I'm calling these universities, I'm trying to set up meetings, I'm putting them on the calendar, and then he's taking them off my calendar and putting them just on his calendar. And I was like, oh man, well first of all, like, find another job. No, I'm just kidding.
Run.
Yeah, run. So I was like, okay, that is really, really tough. So we then spent the next hour eating fajitas and brainstorming what she could do. So we ultimately decided she would set a meeting with her boss the next day and just unpack this a little bit from a humble perspective and say, hey, I feel like we're kind of missing each other. Can you help me understand like how you want our workflow to function, right? So that's a perfect example of a therapist. Like, we didn't talk about anything business related other than her feeling upset at her job. But it was a great lunch. Like, as a therapist, I loved it. I was like, man, I felt like we got to connect, we got to solve a problem, right? So the downside is, as a therapist, we can get stuck in the weeds, right? So I got stuck in the weeds at that lunch. Like, I was happy to help, I loved talking, helping her solve her issues, but like, I wasn't like, hey, what work are you pursuing? Hey, do you guys need any proposal support? You know, anything that would have vaguely helped me or helped her professionally, like, we didn't talk about, right? So, good news, we have some compatible types to therapists, right? So these are types that when I'm in a BD setting, these are great matches to me as a therapist. So the resource, Mel is a resource. She's gonna unpack this in a little bit. So the resource is able to refocus conversations because they're really good at facts and figures. They know a ton about their company. They're really trustworthy. They can kind of help guide the conversation, right? So as I was like, you know, crying over a margarita in the middle of the day, trying to help my friend, you know, Mel could have been like, okay, so, you know, what else is going on work-wise? You know, could have kind of helped me transition a little bit into a more professional conversation. Also, the connector. So the connector is great at maximizing conversational opportunities. Like, what does that phrase mean? Well, what it means is when you walk into an event, when you show up, the connector is naturally great at like maximizing their impact, at talking to a lot of people. They do not get stuck in the weeds. They're very business focused, gregarious, and so they're an awesome balance for the therapist. All right, so the friend. Do we have any friends? Yeah, okay, this is my second one. Christina, can I pick on you to stand up and read? Do you mind? Yeah, what's gonna happen?
I wish I could just look this way and read it, but
You could just turn as you talk.
Yeah. The friend, a natural conversationalist, you excel at making connections feel at ease. In a business setting, you are easily able to identify and connect with like-minded individuals. You are relatable and likable, paving the way for friendships to easily develop among your peers and industry connections. An active, engaged listener, connections enjoy discussing a wide variety of topics with you, valuing your opinions.
Awesome. Thank you. Was there anything that kind of stuck out to you that you identified with in that description?
You know, I can't just walk into a room and like just start talking shop.
Yeah.
I have to really like find people and talk about things not work related.
Yep.
Find a common ground and then you dive into
Ease
it.
into
Yeah. Find that
exactly.
natural like friend connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so much easier for me than just being like, so what are you working on right now?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's just not my style.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
Yeah, this is great.
Awesome. Well, this is my second. So I'm like a therapist and a friend. So everyone wants to like solve problems and grab drinks with me. I don't know if I can help you like work-wise at all, but we can have a lot of fun and solve a lot of problems. So no, I'm just kidding. All right. So the friend, some strengths of the friend, like Christina said, they're relatable, they're likable, they're easy to be around. So when I show up at an event, I have a few work connections who we really have this kind of more of a friendship than a professional relationship. So I might see them at an event and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go check and see how they're doing because I'm naturally connected to them. It's easy to talk to them. So I have one friend who we have similar age kids. I have a 7-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. So whenever I see her at an event, we're like, hey, how's it going? First thing out of either of our mouths, like, how are the kids? You know, I'm like, oh yeah, they're great. Like, you know, is your 3-year-old kind of like writhing on the ground every morning? Is that normal? You know, she's like, oh yeah, totally. You know, so then we go like down this deep dive of like our kids because that's a natural connection point for us as friends. So again, the downside, right? You guys probably could have seen this challenge a mile away, right? Is getting friend zoned. So I really like this person. I like talking about our kids. But I have yet to figure out how to like convert this friendship into supporting and helping each other work-wise, right? That is not a strength of mine or a strength of the friend in general. Good news. Other people can support us. Yay! Okay. So compatible types, we have the observer. So I love observers because they're really great at gathering business-related insights. So again, where I'm like, oh, did you order Chick-fil-A or Lupe tortilla for your kid's birthday party? You know, the observer is like, so, have you pursued the bond work that's out for AISD? You know, they're able to just kind of jump in. I'm like, yeah. How's that going? You know. So, I need observers in my life. And then the resource. So again, the resource naturally redirects conversations to be more business focused, right? So Mel could have showed up when I was like talking about the little kids' birthday parties and like, you know, somehow redirected it into like, oh yeah, you know, we're helping several clients with this AISD bond work. Do you guys need any support? You know, something like that. So again, we can all balance each other out in these BD and networking settings. All right, I'm gonna pass it over to Mel since y'all are probably tired of hearing me talk, and we will keep going.
All right, next one is the connector. I know we have a bunch in here. Raise your hand if you are a connector.
Yep.
Oh, not as many as I thought, actually. Okay, I like it. All right. Garrett, sorry, would you like to read? Do you feel like you're in second grade being like called on to read?
You are outgoing and magnetic. Others are naturally drawn to you in a business development setting. Often described as the life of the party, you are at ease commanding the crowd and leveraging your network to bring others together. You value having a large and diverse group of connections and feel confident expanding that network. You can be relied on to carry any conversation with ease and confidence, allowing others to relax in your presence.
All right, what do you think? What do you resonate with?
Y'all need to add a 6th one called Goober.
Catch all.
I think I had to talk to my colleagues
right.
There you go.
Self-awareness, you know.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, so I think Allie mentioned this already, but the connector is what you think of as like just your typical business developer. The connector is someone, you all can probably think of this kind of person. I have someone in my life that I've worked with for years, and I can walk into any sort of networking environment, event, whatever, and I know that he's going to be holding court with a circle of people around him. He's going to be arms flying in the air, talking about something interesting and entertaining. Everyone's going to be captivated. He's bringing people in. What do you think about that? How are you? Have you been there before? Whatever it might be. And I know that I can walk into that room, I can see that happening across the room, I can approach that situation, and he's immediately going to be like, Mel, come on in here, guys, do you know Melanie? She works at Meeks Marketing. We worked together years ago. Mel, do you know so-and-so? Do you know so-and-so? The connector is just the best word for this type of person because they are going to make those connection points. You guys both went to A&M, you're both from this place, whatever. I mean, they're just rattling off things. They're thinking on their feet. They are making sure that everyone is comfortable. They're constantly thinking about that next topic even, like, okay, if there's a lull in the conversation, it's on me. Like, I know that I am like commanding this situation. So I always think of that. Can y'all think of somebody in your life that's like that? Like your connector that's your go-to? So strengths, truly magnetic. I mean, people are just drawn to them. They know that's kind of a safe place in a business development setting. Like this person's going to take them under their wing and help them through it, Engaging and helpful. All of those words definitely describe the connector well. Challenges. So sometimes their relationships can sometimes feel more transactional because they are literally kind of performing and holding court, like I said. They might not be going as deep or even listening as well. And that's the second challenge is listening. And so when we talk about what compatible types...
I agree.
You're back in. Okay. So compatible types with the connector, definitely the therapist. The therapist is going to kind of be the wingman to that connector, and the connector's just, and then the therapist is kind of like, are you guys, how's the new office going? What's going on? Tell us about your new hires. Kind of gently rolling them into some other types of deeper conversation possibly. And then the observer. The connector and observer partnership is probably my favorite to think of because I think of an observer and a connector going to like a big networking event or conference or something, and they get in the same car to drive back to the office together. Those two had completely different experiences at the same conference. I mean, completely. The connector is going to be like, here's 84 business cards I got, and did you see so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so? And the observer is going to say, yes, but I got like 4 new leads today. I just kind of bounced around to different conversations and just kind of listened to what people were talking about. And I heard about these new concrete leads that I'm going to research and look up when we get back to the office. And so that's a really interesting combination there. Next is the resource. So as Allie mentioned, this is what I am. And let me go through the description first. Who is a resource in here? All right. Who am I going to call on? Who wants to read for me?
You pick on Leah.
Oh, I can see your hand. Leah.
Leah
Leah's
works
one of our team members.
Yeah, Leah works on our team, so we can pick on her.
The resource. You have an uncanny ability to internalize and recall information, making you a valuable contributor to any conversation. You're most comfortable and confident talking in facts and figures and can be relied upon to represent your firm well in any business setting. With a strong memory and ability to consistently provide data to support your conclusions, you are well revered by your peers and new connections.
You're totally
Yeah,
a
this is-
resource.
Well, and I think the fun part about this is we all took this quiz a week or 2 ago, and it's fun to ask people that know you, like, is it accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely a resource. So whenever I scored the highest on a resource, it kind of surprised me at first. And when I told Allie, she was like, oh yeah, that's definitely you. She said, think about all the phone calls you get. So I was thinking about more traditional business development situations, but she was saying, and it's true, I tend to just get a lot of these phone calls as a resource. People calling and saying, hey, we're trying to do some strategic planning on this project. What do you think our approach should be on this? Like, what do you think some differentiators for us would be? Or, hey, we're looking to restructure our team. Can you give me some ideas? I mean, just across the board, just different things that, I guess people look to me as, well, if she doesn't know the answer, she's gonna figure it out. And, I think that's probably true. Another example, I think of my days, I worked at an architectural firm for 10 years. And whenever you're the one in charge of a lot of prime proposals, you get a lot of calls and a lot of emails of sub-consultants wanting to be on your teams. It's great, you get exposure to all these different potential subs out there, but a lot of times it's like a big ask, right? It's just kind of like, hey, you put us on a team yet? I've sent you qualifications 20 times or whatever. There was this one structural engineer, she's still a client of ours to this day, and I knew that every big project that was coming out that they wanted to be on our team for, I was going to likely get a call and an email, and it was going to be the best information I had from anyone. She was gonna say, we've already met with this client, this is what we know to be true, we've worked with this client before, this has been our experience, this is the kind of team they look for, this is the kind of approach they look for. She was gonna tell me what other teams were going after it because they were already on several teams. She was going to go ahead and compile a list of projects and experience that they have with us, so I didn't even have to pull that if I wanted to put them on that team. And so it made me look really good, right? So then I'm going to the go, no-go meeting and I'm like, would you like for me to tell you what I know? I did not gather this information, but it's still a wealth of knowledge. So definitely an awesome thing to think about if you're in that kind of discipline mindset. Okay, so strengths for the resource. Very knowledgeable, very helpful, and viewed as an expert. So, whatever your subject matter is, an expert could be very technical, or it could just be, I feel like mine's kind of just more leveraging relationships and,
You're like an expert in everything.
Oh, yeah, right. I wish. And then the challenge could be making that personal connection. So I like to think of the combo of Allie and I because me being the resource, her being the therapist, there's so many times where I'll say, I got the most interesting phone call today. So-and-so called and asked me for, help with this thing that they were working through. And she goes, that's awesome, how did it go? And I was like, it was great, I kind of just gave her some tips over the phone or whatever, and she was like, well, did you see if she wanted to go to lunch next week? It's like, no. That's a really good idea. And take that next step. And so Allie and I are a great combo in that regard. She kind of pushes me out there a little more. I'm like, no, I just had a 5-minute phone call and moved on with my life. All right, so that's the resource. Okay, so compatible types to the resource. Wait, did I put something on?
Yeah, you're good.
There we go, okay. I thought it was going backwards. Okay, last but not least is our observer. So Allie mentioned that we love observers. This is definitely the rarest and the most unique, and I love the observers in our lives. So who here is, I know we have about 5 or 6, I think I counted. All right, Jennifer.
I like how all the observers are like, please don't pick on me.
Are you going to be traumatized if I ask you to read this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going back for a request really quickly.
Sorry, I don't think we have
Go back.
previous slide now.
Go back one.
Who's compatible? Yeah.
Yeah, did you try to go
Oh, did I skip that one?
Yeah, I think we went past this one.
Oh, okay. I mentioned the therapist, but I didn't mention the friend. So another compatible type for the resource is going to be the friend, and that's going to add, so while the therapist is going to help further those connections, like I mentioned with Allie and I, the friend is going to kind of add some warmth there, where it's the resource can be very data driven and just kind of facts and stays very focused on business and the bottom line or whatever. The friend's going to take you more into that friend zone, as Allie is recently or previously. Sorry about that. I missed the friend.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's very important. Okay,
Right.
sorry, Jennifer. Go ahead.
One of the rarest business personas, you are incredibly valuable in any business development setting. You have a unique ability to patiently listen and gather information about connections without passing judgment. You generally prefer listening to speaking and often have astute insights into people and situations. Ego is not a factor for you. As a result, people trust your intuition.
Jeff, does that add up?
Yeah.
Jeff and Jennifer are business partners. Okay. All right, I like it.
We're at 9:15.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So the observer that that came to mind for Allie and I the most was a client of ours who, she's a contractor, she's extremely intelligent, she's involved in so many different things, very proactive. She ends up on a lot of like boards and things like that because she's just such an amazing individual and just so smart and such a great resource. But she's quiet. She's not going to be silent in a meeting or a networking type event, but she's going to be that type that's really just soaking it all in, taking mental notes or actual notes. The one that kind of leans in is like, tell me more about that. That's really interesting. Tell me exactly how that worked. He or she is definitely not sitting there thinking about the next words that they are going to say or how they're going to interject into the conversation. They're very present, hanging on every word, taking it all in, and like we said before, they're going to be, the observers are great wingmen or women to really any other business development persona, because they are going to experience that information so much deeper and just on a completely different level. So strengths, of course, gathering useful information, very insightful, and then challenges could be engaging with potential connections, making those organic connections. They're going to maybe gravitate towards people they already know or lean on other people to introduce them, things like that, which is fine, but that would be just kind of the main challenge for the observer. Compatible types. Definitely the friend. The friend's going to identify connection points for them, not dissimilar to what I said about the resource, saying like, hey, yeah, you got that great information from so-and-so, why don't you, see if they want to come to the office this week and we can talk more about that. The connector is going to help them alleviate conversational pressure. I've already talked a lot about that. They're definitely going to just bring them in and help them to engage more. Okay, so these next few slides, it's not going to be rocket science, it's stuff we all know, but we're still at the beginning of the year, very beginning of February, and these are great refreshers to think about. So it's a great time to think about your elevator pitch. When was the last time I was kind of forced into that situation where I met somebody completely new and in a very quick amount of time had to give my elevator pitch? I think 7 seconds is what they say takes for a person to develop that very first opinion or very first thought of a person when you first meet somebody. So your elevator pitch is a brief way of introducing yourself, getting across a key point or two, and making a connection. So things we want you to include in the elevator pitch include your unique skill set, your company's differentiators, why it matters, and then thinking about a transition. So, elevator pitches I feel like used to be really just about kind of your company. Like, I work for so-and-so and this is what we do and this is what our unique things are.
And you always say it like it real
I
bad.
always do it. But it's always great to do that and then turn it back on yourself. In my position at the company is this, and this is my favorite project I've worked on, or this is what I'm currently working on, making it a little personal. And then the transition is, of course, where you flip it back. You're like, well, tell me about you. Tell me what company you are working for and what it is exactly that you do, and just kind of making that connection from there. All right, so I'm going to run through these quickly. We've all done our share of virtual events, and we're doing less and less of them, but these are still good things to think of. And we say event, but that can also mean meetings, of course. I know we all still do a lot of Teams and Zooms and that kind of thing. So always have your camera on. Always assume it's going to be on, always prepare for it to be on. You can definitely take the cue from the meeting organizers. If you get on, there's 10 people on the meeting and no one has their camera on, that's fine to turn it off at that point. If for whatever reason you can't turn your camera on, I feel like it's really nice etiquette to tell them that ahead of time. Maybe shoot an email and say, hey, I'm coming back from a meeting, I will be on, I will be engaged, but my camera won't be able to be on because I will be driving. Use a real background. I know we do a lot of virtual backgrounds and a lot of companies require it, and that's fine. I just like to feel like I'm kind of entering someone's office space whenever I get on a meeting like that. I would really like to just see them in their natural habitat, sitting at their desk, their nice little natural background, whatever it might be. And then personally message the host. This more applies for an event. If you get on a webinar or something like that, it would be great to message the host within the virtual platform and just say, thank you so much to you and your organization for setting this up. I really enjoyed this, and I hope I get the opportunity to do more of these with your organization. It just is another kind of excuse for a connection point there, and it's just kind of a goodwill. And be ready to engage. Once the meeting starts, we've all got on meetings where it's like you're just staring at a blank chair and you're kind of like, okay, well, that's a little weird. And you're sitting there waiting for them to come back. And then in-person event etiquette. Determine your greeting options. Just kind of be prepared when you go into the room and know, are you going to go up to people and shake hands? Are there going to be huggers in the room if they're comfortable with that and you're comfortable with that? Are you going to kind of just try to join a group conversation? Whatever it might be, just preparing yourself and thinking ahead of time. Name tag on your right side, making eye contact, making introductions, especially if you already know some people there and you kind of, we've all been in situations where you kind of see that person in the corner just kind of like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. Anybody you can kind of bring in and literally feels like you're saving their life in the moment to invite them into your conversation. And then your cheat sheet. Anytime you can get a list of attendees before you attend any sort of meeting or event, that is such a cheat. You can scour that list and kind of come up with a plan of who you want to make sure to make a connection with while you're there. Growing the connection. So prioritize listening. And what you hear that day, you could take advantage of that there, or it could be something in a follow-up, but just prioritize taking away some good nuggets from conversations. Provide positive verbal affirmations. When someone's speaking, just be an active listener, nodding your head, saying, oh, that's really interesting, or, congratulations, you're talking about your new project. I know that was really competitive.
You're doing a great job presenting, Mel.
Hey, ask open-ended questions. We all have people in our life where we know it's like if you say, hey, did you go to that conference last week? They're going to say, yep. And that's it. So make sure that you say something like, how was the conference last week? Tell me what you went to. Tell me what you learned. Who all did you see there? Avoid negative topics. Just keep it light. Keep it, focused on business, focused on something, light. You don't need to bring up anything that's controversial and things like that. It's just not the place for it. And then have an exit strategy. This can kind of be an awkward situation if you feel a little trapped in a networking environment, but it's completely okay. I just encourage you to think about it ahead of time, especially if you have some people that are going to be there that you want to speak to. If you've had a several-minute-long conversation with someone and you see some people coming into the room, it's completely fine to say, you know what, I just saw so-and-so enter. I invited them here today, so I need to go greet them and show them to where we're sitting today. Things like that. Just kind of think through it so you're not just stuck. And I've literally seen people like kind of that Homer Simpson meme where they're just like in a circle and they just start like backing up slowly. And it's kind of like, okay, I think you can handle that better.
Yes.
Can you give us an example of a good exit strategy besides I gotta use the ladies' room?
Yeah, I think just saying like, it was so good catching up with you today. I'm going to follow up. Maybe we could, our firms could get together for a happy hour or something. But you can totally say, I really need to catch up with so-and-so over here. I told them I would sit with them today. Even if it's a semi-excuse, it's completely fine to say that. Just kind of politely exit. And what another great thing to do is to find someone else to bring in. Like if you're just having a one-on-one conversation, if you see somebody kind of lingering close by, to bring them in and say, have you two met?
And then you can like,
yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
The thing I struggle with at networking events is sometimes it feels like I'll be talking to somebody. So I'm a therapist, I'm 25% therapist, 25% resource.
Ooh, that's such a good combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But however, I really dislike when I'm talking to somebody and I can see them already eyeing the next people
Yeah.
we're gonna talk to.
Yeah.
You're talking to a connector. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So at that point I'm just like, okay, I'm done talking. I know it just feels so disingenuous. Do you have any tips for that? At that point I just kind of.
I'm the same way. As a therapist and a friend, nothing drives me more crazy in a BD setting. I'm like, look me in my eyes, let's talk, and then you can move on. So if I see someone doing that, I take that as a cue from them that they're looking for a way to get out of this conversation, and I'll just kind of give them an out. I'll be like, it was so great to see you today. There's actually someone I need to talk to over here.
Yeah.
And then just get out of the conversation.
I was going to say the same thing. Just go ahead and excuse them and just, move on. I think, but that's a really good question. I like that. All right, so we love this quote. Dolly Parton said, find out who you are and do it on purpose. And so you guys are all here today. You chose to come to this session because you knew that you were going to learn more about yourself, hopefully. So you've invested in yourself. You're learning more about what makes you tick, especially in a marketing and business development situation. And so hopefully you have some really good takeaways. You've learned some strengths. You've learned some challenges you can work on. You've learned who you should collaborate with the most in some of these settings. And yeah, so we're just so thankful that you all took the time to be here.
All right, Jeff, how's it going over there?
Great.
All right, look at these 5 gorgeous canvases. I'm so excited and proud. Great job, Dad, as always. So we are really excited to do a drawing for all 5 of these. Obviously, they are freshly painted, so they're still wet, but good news, we have these awesome travel bags for you guys. Wow. And then a little easel, so you'll be able to prop this up on your desk if you win. And Jeff assured me that it would be fine, right, to put the painting in the bag?
Yeah, they're going to smear a little bit, but that'll just add to their beauty. It's all good.
All right, so sneak back over here. I feel like we need like a drum roll. All right, this one? Yes. Here we go.
There's a lot in there.
You need a smaller hand. My hand's huge. All right, here we go. Oh, I feel a magical one. Okay, here we go. Drum roll. Again. Debbie Williams! Come on up. The rest of the campus. This is like Price is Right a little bit. I'm here for it. Great.
Not come on up, it's come on down.
Come on down.
Okay, that was the therapist. Huh?
Yep, this is the therapist. And
The friend.
we have the friend coming up. All right, here we go. All right. We have Amy Protonexis. Where are you? Seriously. I promise I'm not just trying to pick my friends from the Austin chapter. So I'm going to let Mel pick the next one just to prove that. Oh yeah, we should have taken a picture.
Hey, Amy and Jackie, look over here real quick. Please. Come on, Dad. Pretty
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, maybe if you get a painting, just wait up here a second and we'll take one photo of everyone with their artwork.
Okay, actually, I was gonna take it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not traveling, you can keep it off to let it dry. Here, let me help you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I don't want it here.
I know. All right, Mel, you're up.
All right.
Here you go.
And I'm the connector.
There you go.
Natalie Lejeune.
Yeah, it's just
Do you guys want a picture
Yeah,
of
they're
these
gonna wait.
without
We're
the
gonna
bags?
have them.
Yeah, just have them hold
I'm
them.
gonna give you the bag, or you can just.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, congrats, Natalie.
You got 2 more.
All right. You should do the resource. You can share the resource. And then Natalie, if you can just wait over here so I can look at the group photo. All right, resource. Here we go. Where are my resources at? Oh, we got a paper.
Antonia Criddle from Willowbrook.
Yeah, all right. Awesome. Congratulations on your big win. And my win. All right, last one we have the Observer. And how awesome is my dad? I was like, Dad, we need to get some small paint cans to do a drawing. He's like, oh, I'm on it. So this is what he does. He like paints them, color codes them. So everyone needs a Jeff in their life. So yeah. Way to go, Jeff. All right, drum roll please, our last canvas. All right, here we go. I have Rocio Spencer from DVR. All right. Oh yeah, it's right behind you. So thank you guys so much for coming. Before you get up, please take a moment and give us some feedback on Guidebook. As I mentioned, this is the first time we've done this presentation, so we really appreciate you guys coming. And if you have any questions, come up, talk to us afterwards. We're happy to try to answer them for you. So thank you guys.
One last thing, guys. Our contact info is up here along with Jeff's. If you ever have any needs, he's local to Austin, so his info is right there. Yep.
That's why we're so great together. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And then Dad, you get over there, Dad. I want you minutes. All right, one with Jeff, and then Mel will hop in. Sorry. No, you're good. All right, Mel.
Okay, we're gonna jump
and then we'll set you free with your baby. Awesome. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, guys.
All right, ladies. Take it easy. You just hold it. Yeah, it's a little windy here.
I love the fun. Thank you.
That was good.
I love this talk.
I love this.
You want to take this one?
Tell which one you want.
Almost totally.
That's not work. Yeah, everybody knows.
Wait, hold on. Someone's getting in the way. Does it want to go? Hold on. Sorry. Do you want to hop in?
Yeah.
Both the work class? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. All right.
Perfect. No, that's good. I love it.
Thank y'all.
I really enjoyed it. It was great.
So valuable.
Yes.
All right. Let's get out here, right?
Yeah, sorry for putting you out, it's just the young map.
No, it's okay.
Yes.
I get it. Is this you? Here, we can just load this stuff up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put these in the back.
Yep. Just go help Dad.
So great.
Yeah, there is nothing I would not do for her. Her husband, God, gets to sit.
You guys did such an awesome job. That was the first thing.
Oh, thank you. It's really fun. I know, how awesome is he? He's like the cutest assistant.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just sent you both. I have 20 pictures.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much.
We're going to be submitting the
Okay, I just told her.
I want to make sure it's not.
And I was the like disruptive one that ran in and threw y'all. And then, I said, the lady next to me, I said,
You get plugged. Okay, good. You're plugged in.
yeah.
All right.
I was like,
We'll
y'all
get out
stop.
of your way here.
I'm such a daddy's girl. I mean,
Thank you so much for coming.
oh my God. No, absolutely.
That was so much fun.
It was.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. There's definitely, you all have a very special, yeah, you're just special.
Thank you.
So.
I so appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Have a great one.
You too. All right, get out of here.
Oh, yeah, like I said, this is after this, you guys
You got it. Okay, good. You
Yeah.
got that. That's like the hard part. Yeah, ours.
because you literally like never know.
I know. We had a night. So this one started at 8:30 for us. We were connected by like 7:30 this morning. We were like, we're not messing around.
We have a lot of setup, looks like.
Yes, we did.
Sounded like everybody had a really good time. I was outside, everybody was like, fun.
Clean up for you, son. Get out of your hair.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Just in case.
Mel, can you? Oh, we can stick those cans in